All right, welcome back. This is basic part number 4. And looking at this one looks a little complicated. We've got a funny looking shape, then we've got this half circle cut out over here. We've got a quarter circle cut out here, and then a cone or a hole that goes all the way through it. But it's not as simple, or excuse me, it's not as complicated as it might seem. We're going to create this in 3 steps. Okay, it's going to take 3 sketches, 3 extrudes, and you're all done. So, again, very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what is the best way to do this. Now, there's a couple of ways that we could attack this. We could draw it from the top and basically draw this shape right here, and that would work. That would get us 1 extrude, and then we would have to then add the hole and add that. Okay. Another way we could do it is you could attack it this way and just draw a square, but then we have to come back in. We have to cut this, and cut this. So for me, what I chose is I chose to draw it from this side. So I draw a rectangle and then I cut this circle. Okay. So this is going to be, let me get this to where you guys can see it. This is basically my first drawing. Okay. I drew my rectangle and I went ahead and cut my circle in to save myself a step later. So go ahead and create yourself a Part Studio. In your Part Studio, be sure to rename your tab, call it BP4. And then we're going to click on our front of our view cube, spin it around, choose our front plane, Shift S to start a sketch, and then we are going to hide the different work planes. All right, so we're going to draw a rectangle, and that rectangle is going to be 1 1/4 inches wide, or excuse me, 1 1/4 tall, 2 1/4 wide. So grab your corner rectangle, and we are going 2.25 wide and 1.25 tall. And then we are now going to cut a circle in this. All right, so I'm going to move my dimensions in, get them kind of evenly spaced. And I'm going to look back at my drawing, and I'm going to see that this circle, it's a 1/4 inch circle. It's 1/2 inch from the top of our rectangle, 3/4 inch from the right-hand side. So grab your center point circle tool, still in sketch 1, and I'm just going to draw a circle out here, 0.25 inches. That's our diameter. And I'm going to pull my dimension down here so I can see it. And just to be sure, I know that I am 1/2 inch from the top wall and 3/4 inch from the side wall. So grab your dimension tool, center point to that top wall, 1/2 inch, so 0.5. And the center point of our circle to our outside wall, 0.75. And there you go. And that's what you need. Click that corner, Shift E, and remember we're going to extrude it backwards because we drew the front face, so opposite direction. And how far are we extruding it? Let's find out. We extruded this shape 1 1/2 inches. So extrude 1.5. Enter, enter. There we go. So that is sketch number 1. All right, so for sketch number 2, we're basically going to cut out this half circle over here. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to start a sketch on our top plane. So click the top of your view cube to spin it around. Zoom out a little bit, give yourself some room. Click that top plane, Shift S, and we are going to start a sketch. A center point circle is what we need. And on this one, this center point circle, it has a diameter of 1 inch, and I know that it is exactly centered in our part. So I'm going to grab my center point circle, and I'm going to actually slide down. Okay, there we go. There should be a center point right there. That's what we're looking for. All right. I know it's the center point because you can see the little line with a dot in it. That's telling me that I am on the center point. So I am going to click that. I'm going to drag it out and I'm going to tell it I want this to be a 1-inch circle. And it puts it directly in the center of my part. And I can prove that by coming over here and choosing my dimension tool, and I can dimension from this corner or this outside wall to here, and I could see that that was 0.25, and whoops. All right, and the same thing down here. You don't have to do this. This is just showing you that it is, in fact, even. So it was 1.5 inches. Those two gave me those. So we do not have to add these two dimensions. I was just showing you that it is in the center. All right, once we've done that, we're going to click on our corner and we're going to extrude, and we're removing again. We're going to go through all, and we're going to hit that green check, and bang, we've got it. We're almost done. All right, so for step 3, you are going to jump over here. Actually, I jumped over here. And we're drawing a sketch on our left side. And this is exactly like, I want to say it was part number 2, only we're drawing the circle in a different direction. All right, so we're going to end up with a thick line at the top and a short line at the bottom. All right, so we are going to click on the left side of our view cube. So spin it around, click on that left face, click on this face, start a sketch. And we're going to come up here and we're going to grab our center point circle, and we're going to start from this top right corner. We're going to drag in, and it's going to be a 2-inch circle. So number 2, zoom out, spin it around so you can see it. Actually spin it around all the way. There we go. And we're going to extrude, and we're doing a remove because we're cutting into our part. And how far we are cutting into our part is, we're extruding into the part, and we are extruding 1 inch. So your depth should be 1 inch. It's automatic. Hit that green check. Bang. You have created part number 4. Throw it in isometric mode. That's going to give you the same view that is on that drawing that I gave you. And everything looks exactly like it should. Be sure to rename your tab BP4. Rename your part as well. Call it BP4. And you are ready to go. Part number 5 is next.